Dear friends, peace be with you. Today, we come to the seventh Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year C. Not long ago, I was at the grocery store, pushing my cart down a busy aisle, when, bam, I accidentally bumped into someone. Before I could even say, "I'm sorry," the person snapped at me, calling me careless and rude. My first instinct? To snap back, to defend myself. But I stopped for a moment and thought, how many times I have been the impatient one? How many times have I reacted harshly without knowing what someone else was going through? That small moment reminded me of something much greater. Jesus' call to love our enemies. It's easy to be kind to those who are kind to us. But what about those who have wronged us, those who have betrayed us, or those who have hurt us deeply? Perhaps you have felt betrayed by someone you trusted. Maybe a friend turned their back on you. Maybe a family member hurt you in a way that you never expected. Or you have this one co-worker who's always making your life difficult. What was your reaction? Was it to forgive? Or did you want to get even? It's human nature to want justice, to want people to feel the same pain that they have caused us. The word teaches us, if someone hurts you, you hurt them back. But what does Jesus say? In today's gospel text, Jesus speaks directly to this. He says, "Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you, and pray for those who mistreat you." Wait, love my enemies? Bless those who curse me? Pray for the ones who mistreat me? That sounds impossible. But Jesus isn't teaching us weakness. He is teaching us a love that transforms. The word says, fight back. Jesus says, love back. And then he gives us a golden rule to live by. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If we want mercy, we must first show mercy. If we desire love, we must be willing to love even when it is difficult. We see a perfect example of mercy in our first reading today from 1 Samuel in chapter 26. King Saul had been hunting David for years, trying to kill him out of jealousy. David was innocent. Yet he spent years fleeing for his life, living in caves and being treated as the enemy or a fugitive. Then came the moment of truth. David found Saul asleep. He spear right beside him. With one strike, he could have ended his suffering. But instead, he said, "The Lord forbid that I should lay a hand on the Lord's anointed." David showed mercy when revenge was within his grasp. He trusted in God's justice rather than taking matters into his own hands. And that, my friends, is real strength. Mercy is not weakness. Mercy is surrendering to God's plan, trusting that He will take care of things in His time. If you have ever doubted that love is stronger than hate, just look at Jesus. As he hung on the cross, in pain, abandoned and mocked, what did he do? Did he curse his enemies? Did he call down fire from heaven? No. He lifted his eyes to heaven and said, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do." This is the love we are called to, a love that forgives even when it hurts, a love that doesn't make sense to the world. As St. Paul reminds us, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. You might be thinking, that all sounds great, but how do I actually love my enemies? Let's start small. Here is a challenge for you this week. Think of someone who has hurt you, maybe a friend, a co-worker, or a family member. Instead of holding on to bitterness, pray for them. Even if you don't want to do it, even if it's just saying their name before God. Choose one act of mercy. Maybe it's staying silent instead of speaking harsh words. Maybe it's responding with patience instead of frustration. Maybe it's simply refusing to hold on to anger. This is how we can change the world, not by fighting hate with hate, but by answering it with love. A few weeks ago, I heard the story of a woman who, after years of being deeply hurt by someone close to her, made the decision to forgive. She said, "For so long, I held on to my anger. I thought forgiving meant letting them off the hook. But then I realized holding on to my bitterness wasn't hurting them. It was hurting me. The moment I let go, I felt free." Her story is a powerful reminder that forgiveness is not just about the other person, it's about our own healing also. My dear brothers and sisters, I won't pretend this is easy. Loving our enemies is not natural. It is supernatural. It is only possible with God's grace. But when we choose mercy over vengeance, love over hate, forgiveness over bitterness, we don't just change ourselves, we change the world around us. So, who do you need to forgive today? Who do you need to love despite the hurt? Let us ask the Lord to give us hearts that can forgive, that can bless, and that can love, even when it's hard. Because in the end, love is the only thing that will remain. And God bless you.